Okay. So one of the things that we're always asked, or at least I'm always asked, is if you've ever thought about starting your own podcast, what should I do? Well, we got on Anchor because when we were trying to figure out how to distribute content or how to be able to record easily, Anchor's worked best for us. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now Anchor can match you with great sponsors you want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now by reading this ad. So if you've always wanted to start a podcast, make money doing it, go to anchor.fm/start to join me and the diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. I can't wait to hear your podcast. Welcome to Life with Autism, Autisable Dads, where we discuss anything autism related from a dad's perspective. I'm Joel Manzer, lead editor of Autisable.com, and Rob Gorski of the Autism Dad is out today as I talk with today's guests. Today, we're talking with Brynjar Carl and his mother, Bjarney. Brynjar built Titanic out of 56,000 Legos, and they will be at the Titanic Museum in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee on April 16th. If you're near Pigeon Forge, we highly recommend you stop by and visit. Now, let's get on to the interview. I'm an autism dad myself. I have a 14-year-old son on the spectrum who's autistic. He's his special gift is laughter.
Oh, nice.
He's just my joy. My wife's my joy. As I'm trying to gather myself as we go through this. So bear with me. Thank you very much. I'm so professional right now. It's amazing.
No, but thank you. And what's your son's name?
My son's name is Jonathan. Online, and for those who would be listening, we call him Short Stack, although he is 5'8" or 5'9". I don't know how that would go into metric.
About 175 meters. I'm if you put into feet for me, I'm 6'1", but
okay. Wow,
yeah. I sometimes know the feet, but we in Iceland we usually use meters and centimeters.
Right. So as I'm looking for, there was a list of questions and things to ask you guys and things that I wanted to talk to you about as an autism dad to really dive into your trip out here, to the States, to Nashville. You're going to be visiting the Titanic Museum attraction and sharing a lot of what you do or what you've been doing. And there's just a lot I want to learn a lot, to be quite honest, because my son is, for the most part, nonverbal, classic autism. He's becoming more verbal. And as I learn from people who are autistic and from their parents, I'm able to be a better dad and a better husband and a better father, in that regard. So this is a selfish motive for me, that I can be able to learn a lot from you, and at the same time be able to share your story with our audience and what you're about and what's going on. Of course, the site that I own and manage and am grateful to have some awesome editors on and a bunch of other members is called Autisable, AUTISABLE.com. We're of course on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, and everywhere else online. Feel free to join. You're more than welcome. In fact, after this interview, we can be able to talk a little bit more about how we can be able to help promote your efforts online through Autisable. Now, I remember several years ago watching this video and seeing these stories about the Titanic and 56,000 Legos. in creation of this huge beast of a ship. And what was the story behind this creation of this replica? I'm baffled at what possessed you to create this this ship, of this Lego ship, so large.
Well, actually, the story began when I was about 10 or 11 years old. I can't remember. Some year probably. And when I was going with my mother, and also actually, I'm just going to so first, I am a huge ship fan, and I
Okay.
am certain a lot about ships, and I just want to, want more information about this ship, and when I came across the Titanic, all of a sudden I just became more and more interested about the story, why it sank, and how could the people build this sort of big ship. It became an inspiration for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I started to gather information about the ship in my head, because I really, really like the ship. And also, in the time of that year, I really love Lego bricks. And I just built it in everything on Lego, like Lego cars, buildings, ships, and like spaceships. I did it all with the Lego. And one day, when my mother and I went to Denmark in Billund, we saw a bunch of like big scale models. And when I was there, there was like a click, like a light bulb in my head that sort of like became, hey, do you know what? I think I can do it too. So for a couple of months, or like more than a couple of weeks, I started to just thinking about, can I make a big scale model Titanic, Lego Titanic? So what did I do? That I phoned my grandfather to help me calculate how many bricks, or how big the ship must be to be made. And in a couple of weeks, I waited for the results, and my grandfather phoned me again, and he told me the ship would have to be 6.5 meters. And I was a kind of in a shock, not in a bad way. It's just, I was thinking that I cannot build this. It's too big. But still, it became like, what's the word again?
Obsession.
It was an obsession in my, and it didn't go out. It didn't puncture throughout my head. It just stayed there entirely. And my obsession just helped me to ask my mother to help me create the ship. But she said she helped me. She helped me make the video that was put on YouTube, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And that was made in 2014, about that year. And
so you're talking 6.5 meters.
6.5 meters long.
That's for us Americans, that would be like 21.3 feet, something like that. That's huge.
Yeah, it is.
That is enormous. That's when I thought to that scale, when I heard about the length of it, I just know, how am I going to make that big? Well, I just forgot why it had to be 6.5 meters. I just forgot. Sorry about that. It was supposed to be a same scale of a Lego man, or Lego man life scale, or if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Okay. I got you.
Sorry for that. Just
no, that makes perfect sense. That you didn't want to, you wanted to use the size of a Lego man, the little Lego figures,
yeah.
and make the scale model to that Lego man size. That makes
Yeah,
perfect sense.
because in Denmark I saw just many like real life scales houses with Lego men. It was just really cool, and I just thought to myself, I want to make a ship model because I'm obsessed with ships and Lego. I wanted to make one myself, and that one was the Titanic I chose.
That's awesome. Now this took 56,000 Legos.
Yes.
And I know as a parent, and I'm going to talk to you, Mom, here for a second. As a parent, that is a lot of Legos to purchase, a lot of Legos to buy.
Yes.
Now, of course, I'm going to ask the obvious question. How many times did you step on a Lego late at night while he was putting this on there? How many?
Oh,
And what did you do to protect your feet? Okay, so that was the first one. And the second one is, how did you end up raising the funds to purchase all these Legos? Because I know just that can get expensive. I mean, 21 feet, just in length, that is, that's like the size of some cars. I mean, that's huge. So what did you do? Okay, first answer the question on protecting your feet, because I think if anybody wants to know, it's parents on that.
I have to share with you. Actually, my feet were quite fine, but I have
Okay.
to tell you a little secret. Of course, I went every day to help Brynjar build the Lego ship. So I broke my tooth building the ship because I was taking the bricks apart, and sometimes I used my teeth so it would go quicker. So after it's that now they're broken. So that's how that went. But yeah, I mean, in the beginning when he was thinking about building the ship, it was a crazy idea, and but I didn't tell him that. I didn't let him feel that it was a crazy idea. I just let him call his grandfather, figure it out, think about it. And I supported him. And I knew that in a certain state, he would come to me and ask me for help. And he did. And that by that time, I had already thought about how I could support him. And there's these platforms that are called fundraising platforms. And I thought to myself that would be maybe a good idea to try. And we had made a video about his project and his dreams and his goals.
Mm-hmm.
And they really hit people's hearts, and they wanted to see him succeed. And within like 3 or 4 days, we could finance the bricks. So we bought the bricks from Lego with a little bit of a discount. They gave us a discount, thank God.
It's a lot of Lego bricks.
Yeah, it's a lot of Legos. And they came in bulks from Denmark to Iceland. And of course, we had a lot of help from people. Children, they came with their old bricks. Maybe they have stopped using them, so they came by and gave Brynjar the old Lego bricks.
Mm-hmm.
And there were some Lego shops in Iceland that donated their leftovers, so everything helped.
Oh, that's awesome. That is incredible. Because I just remember being here a few years ago and seeing the videos and seeing some news reports and people coming together and creating this thing. And when I got word that you guys are coming to the States into Nashville to the Titanic Museum, I was like, okay, this is exciting to me. As an autism parent, seeing not only your child, get a little popularity there, get a little bit of the general public being excited over, what you've done and what you're doing. And not only have you addressed dealing with the building of the Titanic, but you've also, you've gone on TED Talks,
Yes,
and you're now sharing how your autism is this gift, is your, as you call it, your X factor. And it's actually a motivational aspect of you. What has been some of the responses, both from within the autism community that you've come across, and also from the general public, in regards to this effort, from your public speaking and stuff?
Maybe I should answer that.
Okay.
A lot. And really, really positive. And I just wanted to mention, because you talked about your son not being verbal, not like verbal.
Yeah.
In the beginning, Brynjar was totally nonverbal as well. And the beautiful thing about this project, and I really encourage parents to listen and go ahead with all the crazy ideas that your kids might come and share with you, because it's their dream, it's their goal. They are really passionate about something. They will go the full length. And with like a Titanic project, I was able, and the family, we were able to train Brynjar in his weaknesses, which were to engage with other people, like listening to other people speak to him and ask him questions. And sometimes autistic kids can be a little bit, they don't show like interest. But Brynjar today is pretty good at doing that today. Another thing which was not his strong suit was stamina, like starting something and finishing something. That was not his strong suit. Now we had the chance to do something very, very big. And it was not easy. I mean, he didn't do this easily. He gave up like 3 or 4 times, right, Brynjar?
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes something would go wrong, and I said some things I just want to give up. But the obsession took me and just it kept me going.
So it taught him to have a dream, have a goal. And we helped him to get to the finish line. So stamina became better and better. And in the end, in this year where he was building, a lot of very cool things happened to Brynjar. For example, his grades went from not exactly very poor grades. Now he is a B and A student, and not having any friends. He had like 1 friend. Now he has many friends who are coming and going, visiting him. And I mean, standing on stage is something that I did not think when he was 10 years old, but he can do it.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I've seen your video, and it's the TEDx video that you did, and dude, you're rocking it. You're doing awesome. And I know I use that word a lot, but it's just incredible to me to see people overcome so much. And if you hear some noise in the background, that's my son.
Oh, hello.
Yeah. So hold on 1 minute. What's up, buddy? So you want to go downstairs?
No.
What do you want to do? Okay. So he's craving my attention today. Today is what we call spring break here in the States, which essentially means he's home from school for the week. And so we're just having some fun today. It's also going to be the first time that people on the podcast that are listening hear my son in the background. So So this is just all very incredible. So you guys are coming in the week of the 16th of April
It's
to the States.
where do you about that? No. Do we go?
Yes, it's on the 15th. We go from Iceland on the 15th, and we will be there on the 15th.
That's awesome. And you're going to be going to Nashville, not Nashville, I'm sorry, to the Titanic Museum.
He's having a good time.
Yeah, he is. The exact place that you're going to be going is going to the Titanic Museum attraction in Pigeon Forge area of Tennessee.
Yes.
So I'm going to make sure that we get the word out about this. So for those of you in the Tennessee area, in the Pigeon Forge area specifically, swing by on April 15th to the Titanic Museum and meet this awesome mom, her awesome son. And I'm using that word too much, awesome. With all of that you're doing, and any other information that we can be able to share, we will in the description of this podcast and also on autisable.com. And thank you very much for being a part of this podcast and interview.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Autisable Dads. Stay tuned for more episodes at autisable.com.